Okay, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I hope you find the video useful and helpful in your designing process. If you're a return viewer, thanks for watching the videos. Appreciate the view time, and I hope they're helping you out. If you think about hitting that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're a return viewer and subscriber, my humblest and deepest appreciations for all the support. It's been absolutely overwhelming. Thank you very much. Sorry, I've been MIA for the last week. I've been tied up with Virtual Summit, and actually, I'll be posting a link. You could check out the summit in the description below. So check out that link if you have time. Joseph really did a great job. His designs are just absolutely amazing. But today we're going to get into something. I'm going to try and do a ring in a parametric. Let's just go ahead and get a new, let's just type in new and just get a new, we're going to do like a cluster ring, but a little bit different. We're not going to use the halo. We're going to actually use under bezels for the stones and then add prongs and try and make it as much parametric history as we can. There will be certain things you'll be able to do with it and certain things you won't be able to do with it. But I think it's a pretty cool thing to kind of keep in mind. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's go to tools. Let's grab a ring rail and I'll just hit enter. Oh, whoop. You got to have a ring rail first here. Ring rail. There we go. Okay, so we're off. I get click happy sometimes. So we have our ring rail. Right away, we'll just go ahead and we'll just go to our gems, and we will gem on ring rail, right? And we'll just go ahead and let's go ahead and just, yeah, 6 is okay. I guess 6.4. We'll bump it up just a little bit. We could, hopefully, if we do it right, we'll be able to manipulate it in a lot of different ways. So we'll just go ahead and take that. And right away, since we're here, we might also just grab this gem offset curve here, and then I'm going to drag it out a little bit, and I am going to drag it down somewhere, like around, somewhere around here maybe. Again, if we do it all right, we should be able to manipulate all this stuff. So let's just keep on going. And right away, since we're here, we'll just go ahead and do gems on rail and on curve, rather. So we have one right here at our 12 o'clock position, and that's definitely where we want one. We want to try and, I'm going to drag that over as close as possible so I can keep everything updated. We want to try and keep it, you know, one on our 6 and one on our 12. And we'll go ahead and bump those up some, but definitely want to try and keep those together there, right, or as close as possible. And we'll go into our spacing and we'll kind of bump it over a little bit as close as possible. And again, since we moved the spacing, it kind of moved our stone down here to our 6. So let's go back in and we'll, I'm not going to put too many stones on it, make it easy to manipulate. I don't want them that big, maybe. Something like this here, perhaps. That should be fine, and we'll go ahead and hit here, and it's a little out a little way, so let's go ahead and take that curve. And the nice thing is we can always go back into parametric, and of course we're going to have to adjust it probably. Actually, that looks okay, so let's just go ahead and we still have our 12, we still have our 6, so we'll just go ahead and take that, right? So we have something like this out here right now. It's just our gems going around everything. And we're going to go ahead. I haven't pointed those to any specific direction yet. We'll come back to that. So I'm going to go to my settings. I'm going to just grab my under bezels. And here we'll spend a little time manipulating this here. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get rid of my gemstones so that I can see what's going on out here with my under bezel. And we'll take that down, and we don't need it so wide here. 0.59, that should be fine. Around the same, so it's kind of going straight down in, and actually that looks okay for the most part. Next thing I want to do is make sure grab my stones, and then I probably want to maybe drag them up a little bit, And my dome, I don't want so much dome on there, so I'm going to get rid of some of that dome. Not all of it, but most of it. And then we have it 1.5. Let's bring that up to around a 1, somewhere around there. And kind of take a look at everything, and everything looks pretty decent, so we'll just go ahead and take that. And so far we're still, everything's all parametric, so we can go back and manipulate things. And now let's go ahead, since we're here, and we'll just go ahead and slap these prongs on. First thing I'm going to do is go to my side view here and kind of drag that down to where it's kind of like going right level with the bottom of my under bezels, somewhere around there. Next thing I'm going to do is come over, and we're going to bump those up, of course. We need some prong to bend over the stones. And the final thing that I think I'll do here is we'll just add some millimeter. And now cutting it on these kind of stones, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, because this one will go in this, they'll both go toward each other, and they'll both crimp down very nicely on the stone. But you do want a little bit of an overlap. It doesn't have to be huge, just so the jeweler can get in there and make a little cut and snap that stone down in. And then have a little spacing there so that the girdles aren't touching each other, because diamond touching diamond is a big no-no for the most part. So we have that out here, and we'll just go ahead and accept that for right now so we can kind of see what's going on. Next thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and we'll just put a head on this center stone here. And the very first thing I'll do is go ahead to my rail count and drop that down to 1. And then my rail profile, I'm going to change it. It really depends on what you want. I'm just going to take something like this here, and we'll take that. And the next thing I want to do is probably go to my level 4 there, and I want to just height, I want to drag it up. I'll drag it to maybe a 1.5, somewhere around there. And then I will go back to my 1 so I can drag the entire thing up, right? So that it'll go right up underneath there. And I can kind of take a look, and we want to probably go ahead and bring those down to where the prongs are just, you know, right around the edge there. They're touching, so that's great. And we have a little bit of overlapping here, so we'll have to adjust that a little bit, which we can do here in a little bit. And I'll just go ahead and accept that. And again, prong, it's a 1 millimeter stone. There's really no specifics. You definitely want it at least a 1, maybe a little bit larger. For the center stone, right? You want a good meat on there, and again, it just goes in a little bit. You don't want to be cutting halfway or 3/4 way into your prong, because then if it gets hit, the prong will just snap right off. The girdle of the stone will just snap the diamond or the prong off, and you'll be retipping prongs and having upset customers. So you don't want to do that. Right now, you can see we have an overlap, but like I said, we're going to work on that here in a little bit, and we could do more manipulation. We could, you know, make that more of an angle, but there's other things that we can do as well. So we'll do that kind of a thing, because we're going to do a little something different here at the end, I think. Excuse me. Now I'm going to turn, okay, my snaps are off. I'm going to go to my curves here real quick. I'm going to just grab a circle curve, and I am going to change to my creation layer there and go to F4. And it doesn't matter how big the circle is at this point. Just draw a circle out there. And then I'm going to, well, I don't need it that big, I guess. I'm going to drag it in a little bit. And then I'm going to go to my curves from 2 views. I'm going to select that curve that we just drew, the circle, and select on my ring rail, right? And go ahead and hit enter. And right away, I'm just going to go ahead and bring back my ring rail, show. Go over here to the 3 little dots and hit show. So it'll bring back my ring rail. And then from here, what I'm going to do is go back to my stones, select my stones, click on edit, and then target object. I'm going to select the target object as that curve that we just put out. Now I'll have to hold down shift and control and pick that curve. And if you saw, the stones updated, they switched. Now this is what's controlling them, but this is what's controlling that, if that makes sense. And I'll go ahead and hit enter. So we don't want to manipulate this one. We want to manipulate this one to control the gemstones. So if I go in here and I select my checkerboard and I hold down shift and I kind of drag it in a little bit and give it a second, you can see it updates everything, right? And that didn't really take care of my little prong thing there, did it? So what I'm going to do is try and sneak in here and grab my rail there, the gem offset curve, right? And then go over here to edit, and I'm just going to maybe bump that out just a little bit so that we have a little bit more space there, right? And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Now you can make it a lot larger, smaller, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and accept this because we're, like I said, we're going to do something here at the end that will kind of really change things up, and I just drag that in a little bit so it gives me a little bit more definition there, right? And the stones are now angled out, which I think is pretty cool. It gives a little bit different look, and we'll probably even get that angle a little bit more and do a lot more manipulation in there later on. We'll see what happens here. All right, so we have all this now. You know, this is always the nightmare, everybody. You know, how do I get this prong to come down to connect where it looks really good? I'm sure there's a ton of different ways to do it. I'm just going to show one specific way, and it works with a lot of different things. It does take a little bit of time, but I think it comes out pretty decent. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to select that top ring row. I'm going to shift control select that ring row because they're still joined together, and I'm going to go to my tools, and I'm going to go to my profile placer, and I am going to change that profile to our favorite one and select it and get that rid of that. And now I'm just going to do a little manipulation here. I'm going to, again, if we do it right, we should be able to manipulate this all different kinds of ways. So I'm going to take that down to around a 0.9, and then take this down to around a 0.92. And instead of going to do surface 2 or surface 1 and all that, I'm just going to select my auto activates auto sweep, so it automatic, because it wants to be, it's going to be closed anyway. So and then I'll take that. And actually, that's not the profile I want. So I'm going to go back in here. Again, it makes it so easy. I'm going to go here. I want, if I was to do what we're going to do next with that curve, it wouldn't give me the results because it's not really a poly curve. I mean, NURBS curve. Or if it's a poly curve, but it's broken down into the middle, which is not good. Well, we'll just take this. This is what I want. Now what it is, I have this surface, it's a poly surface with 4 different surfaces. The other one was a half a top and a half a bottom. So if I was to extract, you know, auto base from it, it would just take the top part, or it would take the bottom part. This one will just take this one side, which is what we want. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go to transform, select auto base, select our surface. It'll be that surface there, the outside facing, and we're going to hit enter, and I'll swing that around, and then I'm going to take that, and since we're here, I'm just going to go ahead and center it. It doesn't matter about this breaking history, and then we're going to take that up there, and I'm going to take that and switch it to a little bit friendlier color, and then I'm going to do my deal that I always do, and select all 4 edges and hit enter, and then I'm going to turn off that surface. And then I'm going to go to my curves because I want a mids on both directions. So turn back on my snaps here, and I'll go from here to here, right click, bring it back, and from here to here. So we have that out there, right? And if you want to, I mean, all our boxes are still lit up, so that means everything's still active. But if you know, occasionally you might want to go over and just take a look. So we'll take this and change it to 10 here, and then everything updated, so we know that everything's fine. And I'll just back out of that, just get it back to size 7. All right, so we have all this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our top view here, and I'm going to go back and grab me a circle. And I am going to snap to that mid there, and kind of, I want a little space from the top and a little space, so I don't want to hold, I want a little bit of space on both directions, right? So I'm just going to make it and have a little bit of space there in both directions. And then I need to count my prongs. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12. So I want to do 13, I think it is. We'll find out here in a second. And this is a great way to keep track of everything. I'm going to select my object, go to transform, go to array, linear, or long curve rather. I'm going to select this curve here. And it's putting 14 out there. I'm going to change it to 13, and we'll just accept that. All right, 13, yes, 13. Okay, so that's it. There's 13. Now I'm going to go ahead and select these curves. I'm going to do some cleanup work here real quick, organize things. Get that. I'm going to go ahead and select this curve here and this one down here. I'm going to change those to red. And then I'm going to go ahead and hide my red, select all those, and change them to green. All right, now I'll show my red again. All right, so I have those. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take my green, and I am going to extrude these down just a little bit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be a lot. And then right away, let's just keep everything organized. So I'm going to go back and put those on green as well. All right, so I have those out there, right? And now let's go and grab that surface back again, bring back our auto base. And yeah, that looks okay. So let's see if I counted correctly. Maybe not. It's not a big deal to go back and change them though. So let's see. So we'll go to Smart Flow, and I will grab that surface here. And I will grab the surface on the outside there. And then what I'll do is go to rigid, and go to my right view. Select all those extrusions that we did in those circles. And we'll just go to all viewports. And I will go ahead and hit enter. All right. Now at this point, what you want to do is you want to check, right? And obviously right away, okay, I jacked up something, right? Because there's a one right here in the center, and there's no prong right there in the center. So I need to add one more or draw those over a little bit, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and accept this real quick. I'm going to go back and select all my green here. Now this is a little tricky. Let's turn this off so I can just see the lines. And I want to move those over so that they're right in the middle. So now those circles are all moved over, right? And give it a second to move everything around. And it doesn't matter, this part at least. And now if you look, they line up, right? There's a hole underneath each of the prongs, right? And that's what we want, right? So we'll just go ahead and click off that. We'll go ahead and take these now. We'll just hide them. And we'll keep on working on this. So we'll take this and we'll switch the under bezel there to this color, and we'll turn that off. We just want these. All right, and there's two here. And which one do I want? Let's see. Probably that one there. I don't want this one here. So let's go ahead and take those, and we want to ungroup them anyway. So we'll ungroup them. We'll select. We do not want to delete it. We'll just turn it to gray and turn it off. You need to keep it in order to keep the parametric, I believe. So and besides, it doesn't matter having it, right? So now we only have to do half this. We don't have to do the whole thing. Actually, we could probably get away with maybe doing just 3. So let's try that first. I've been doing half, but let's see if we can get away with 3. So right away, we'll need to stick with our parametric command. So we'll go to curves and we'll go to dupe edge, right? And we'll select our dupe edge, and we're going to select this edge, this edge, this edge, and then we're going to go come up, and we're going to grab the bottom of those prong, that edge on the bottom of the prong on each one of those 3, and we'll hit enter. Right, and now if you select one, we'll go ahead and hit enter. If you select one of them, the group, right, we want to ungroup them. We do not want them grouped together, right? It's just much easier to do this way. All right, so now they should be all individually out there so that we can do some manipulation with them. So let's just start with this one here. We'll go to our surface here. We'll do a profile sweep from this circle here to our little circle down here. And of course you get that there. No worries, don't be worrying about that. First of all, you want to drag this one down. I usually take it down to a -0.1, and it seems like it keeps it as close to the curve, or usually pretty close once it's all done, a little bit easier. And then we want to drag this one out a little bit, and the only thing you want to make sure here is that you do not have any manifold edges overlapping. So you want to make sure that that edge is not overlapping. That's the only thing you really need to be concerned about down here. And then of course you got that thing. And if you go over to your auto seam and it's on, click it off. And then I like to just kind of keep an eye on it from here, and then drag it around to where it looks like it's pretty close to there. And now we have that, right? And that looks pretty good. The prong and everything. And again, there's all kind of manipulation we can do here later, so I'm not going to really worry about that angle too much. I just want that kind of an image coming out. All right, so I'm going to right click. I'm going to go back here and grab this one, and I'm going to grab this one here, and again we get the same thing, and I'm going to take that to a -1. I'm going to drag this one out. Let's go to this side here. Make sure that there's no manifold edges there. It's not crossing over on itself. Something like that. And then we'll turn that off to and we'll kind of get a look straight down on it, and we will kind of manipulate it around to where it looks pretty good. And we'll go ahead and take that. So we have that one looks a little angled there. So let's see, let's go back and grab those. Let's check these out here real quick. Yeah, they probably could be bumped over a little bit. Let's go back to our top view. And what color are those prongs there? Okay, so I can go ahead and just select all this. And maybe just bump it over. Oop, hold down shift. Actually, wait, now I have to wait for it to update. And then I'm just going to go back. Take it back to where it was, and I'm going to hold here and just move it over a little bit more and let it all update. Still looks like there's uneven spacing there, so let's go ahead and grab those some more. I want to try and get them in the center. There we go, that looks much better. All right, so let's come back up here. Did that update for us too? Looks like it did. Let's get a good look at it. Yeah, it updated. And does the prong look any better? Not too much, huh? All right, so let's go back. Let's take a look at this angle. Let's go to the right side. You know, they look pretty even there, huh? Oh, okay, I see what happened. what happened is it looks like it updated our, but not the curve. Oh yeah, it looks like they're on there. Let's go ahead and just do that again. Let's grab the profile. So let's do that one, that second one, I think it was. That was the one that was kind of not looking real good. Oh, okay, so it regrouped everything back together again. So we want to go ahead and select all that and ungroup it. Ungroup right here. And now we'll do that profile sweep from here to here. Yeah. And we'll bring that down again, 0.1. And we will bring this out a little bit. And making sure that nothing's crossing over anything, which it is a little bit right now. There we go. And we will drag that seam looking this way so we can kind of watch it all line up. And that looks a little bit better. And we should have history here. So we should be able to click on that, go to solids, go to MSRs. If need be, you could do this. And just kind of, it's not updating. I don't know why sometimes it does and why sometimes it doesn't. So let's go ahead and hit enter, get rid of that, and do that sweep again. Drag that down, 0.1, drag that out, and fix that seam. Now we should be able to do all kinds of manipulation in here. Select that like that, and we'll hit enter, and we should be able to select this. Oh, that's right, we have to go back. Select that, go to our solids, turn on our MSR, and we want to drag that in. Kind of keep an eye on it. Yeah, see, that's much better. We'll drag it over a little. So you can line it up however you want. I mean, these things in here are just because we wanted to get those circles. That's all they were there for. And now we're able, if we want to, we can go back in and manipulate things, right? So that's kind of what we wanted right there. And it's still inside. And let's turn on. Is it overlapping? It looks like it is just a little. So let's go ahead. We can just go back here. And we should be able to redo our sweep here. And we'll just bump that out a little and hit enter. There we go. So that should be fine. And when we bring back our rail there, it's still going to be inside our item. So no big deal. All right, so sorry about that, but actually that's probably pretty good to see. So what you can do, you can use the MSR objects to be able to manipulate the prongs in different directions, however you want. And sometimes it's, you know, it depends on how picky you want to get, I guess. It still probably come out very nicely without having to do all that, but they come out even nicer with it. So we'll go ahead and finish these other two up here, hopefully. This one I think came out okay the first time, so this one I don't think we'll have to worry about too much. I only want to take it to 0.1, and then we'll drag this one out to where we're not seeing any overlapping. There we go. And then I want to get in that view so I can kind of watch here, click off our auto seam, and adjust it around, something like that. Yeah, see, this one doesn't look bad. It looks pretty straightforward. And then hit enter. Yeah. And again, we're going to go back and redo some things. So if you don't like that height, don't worry, because we're going to change it more than likely. So let's do this last one here and see if we can just mirror them or if we have to do half of them. So our first profile will be this one here, and again, -1, and drag this one out so we don't see any overlapping. And get our view in here, turn off our auto seam, and kind of adjust that one, right? And that one, yeah, that one doesn't look bad at all. Yeah. All right. So there we go. We got all that. All right. So now let's just see if this will go ahead and mirror for us. And we'll go ahead and go to our keeping everything parametric. Transform it, mirrored it there. Let's go ahead and click on X and then turn that on. And we have all our prongs on there and it looks okay. So we'll go ahead and take that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all those prongs there and I'm going to switch to this here. And then I'm going to take all that green, and you don't want to get rid of it, you just want to kind of hide it, and then I'll take all this here and then switch it back to green. Okay, so we have all this out here, right? Now again, you probably want to, let's go ahead and hide this too. You probably want to check we have one command here that's a dupe edge. That's probably that one that we deleted. So let's go ahead and check, make sure that we still can manipulate everything through parametrics and dynamics. Size 11, there you go. Size 11, and I'll just back out of that, get back to size 7. Okay. All right, so we have that, and we have this here, right? And again, if we want to, we are able to go in and grab that stone, go over to our edit, and if you didn't like the height there, you can drop it down however low you want it, and everything will update, and we'll just accept that there. And you can grab this curve down here, and we can grab our checkerboard box there, and we can even make that smaller, and everything updates. So pretty cool, huh? So you can play around with that as much as you want to get it to whatever your liking is, but there's you know, you can play around with it all day and get different angles. And like I said, we're going to do a little something in here later. Now what we need to do is we'll just go ahead and go to our tools, and we'll grab an outside ring rail, and we will switch that ring rail to one of my favorites, so this one here, and select and enter. And now we kind of want to watch right here where it's going to go in, right? And we'll drag that up somewhere. Now again, this is going to be all parametric, so you can come back in here and change it to, if you want diamonds on the side, you want split shank, you want to, you know, all kind of different things. We'll put it up around there, I guess, and we'll drag this one over to a 2 point, holding down shift, 2.5 and a 2.5 there, and we'll hit enter. Now we'll take this one, we'll go ahead and go back to our tools and hit profile, and we'll just drag this one over around here, and we'll go ahead and outside ring rail this one here, and as you can see, it's kind of over there. We'll turn off our gemstones so we can kind of keep a look on where this thing's going to end up. And I will take this rotate here, and I'm going to rotate it so it's kind of like just out there, and then drag it into my item there, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and manipulate this however thickness you want. I take it down to a 1.4 maybe, something like that. And actually I could probably even give that a little bit more rotate there. It's kind of still in the center of my item, right? So give it even a little bit more rotate. Maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, something like that there, right? And then from here, it's just a mirror, right? We want to mirror it on the other side. And there's that one. And we want to place one down here, holding down shift right there. And this one we'll do a little manipulation. We'll grab that and we'll make the width, I don't know, around 4. All right, and then from here we'll hit enter, and now we'll do a surface 2 with this ring rail, this profile, and try and get this one over here on the other side. Where is it at? This one here, and we'll hit enter, and there you go. And again, here's one design. Go over here, maintain height. There's another design, depending on what you're looking for, right? So all different kinds of way to manipulate it. We'll just go ahead and take that. Again, you can go back in there and change things up if you want to. You can lower that rail there, the outside ring rail, if you wanted to. Everything for the most part is still parametric. And if we want to change this side, let's put our gems out there. And if we want to change the ring rail size, we should still be able to do all that too. So we'll take it to 10. Yep, everything updated. Of course, sometimes this pulls away because the ring rail is getting bigger, but your profiles are staying in the same spot. So you'll have to readjust the profiles, but that's that's nothing, right? Compared to redoing the entire thing. So we have something like this, and actually I'll go ahead, I'm going to get picky here and select that ring rail there, or that profile, and I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker here, I think. Just a little. Something like that, and then hit enter. All right, so we have that. Let's see what we've got here, and we've got a nice little cluster ring. If that's what you're looking for, you're good to go. You'll have to in order to these are all open, right? So really you only have to do one side, and it'll mirror, right? What you'll need to do on this is kind of tricky. You don't want to cap them. If you cap them, you break history, and they won't update. So what you have to do is kind of go in there and do it manually. But it's really not a big deal. Let's I'll just show you one of them, and then you can, if you, when you're ready to do yours, if you want to do something like this will just let you know how to do it. So I'll go to my solids here. No, I'll go to tools, and I will do the parametric profile cap, right? And then for the top, I'm going to hold down shift and control and pick that, and it'll slap that top out there. You don't really want the top to have a dome. You probably just want to go ahead and make it a 0 and then hit enter, right? And for the bottom, the dome's no big deal, right? So let's go ahead and select this one here, and then bring back and you can just have a little indentation there. Once you get them all together, you don't have to click join. Just join them all after you get them all done. And besides, you can go back in here and mirror those three, right, to join them together. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this one here, since I'm just demonstrating how to show it. Let's see, select that, select this, select this, and we will join those together. Now that broke history, but oh, that's right, you don't want to do that join, sorry. So I'm going to go back. You want to do the join up here, parametric join. Where's it at? Oh no, it's in tools, join, right? So select objects, this and this, and hit enter. Now it's parametrics. Okay. Yeah, so we still have all history. All right, now we want to go ahead and bring back our prong. Now here, what you want to do is you'll want to go ahead and ungroup all those, and you can do all these many at one time or whatever, but I'm just going to do this one. Boolean union, this will be our first surface, enter. This will be our second surface, enter, and there you go, the prongs join together, right? So that's how you would do it. And then of course you have an extra, I think, maybe not. No, okay, it's all one set. And then of course this here, all you have to do is do that Boolean union again, select one of the surfaces, enter, select the second surface, enter, and there you go, it's joined together too. And we are still, or should be, hopefully, all parametric. So let's take it up to size 10. Boom. There you go. And it's all parametric, right? Oh yeah, one other thing. Again, you can still, go in and adjust height or width-wise. So you can, maybe that's too wide. You don't want it so wide. You can go in, hold down Shift, drag this to real small, like. Everything will update, right? Everything updates, and everything looks good. And you can actually do one last thing if you don't like that little look going around there. It's, to me, it offers a different kind of look, but if it's something you're not really liking too much, you can always go to your top view. This is just a little something as far as design wise you could throw in there. And we're going to turn off our snaps. We're going to go to curves and go to a circle. And I'll turn this one to red. And then I'll just kind of draw a circle out. And I want to stop it kind of like right in the middle there somewhere. Around here. We can always manipulate that later. And then I will go to pick that curve down here at the bottom. Not that curve. I thought it was a red one. Maybe I didn't select a red one. Okay, it's this one. So and we'll go to all viewports, and I will just drag that up in there, something like that, and kind of get a look at it, see where it's laying, and then I'll just click off of it. Yeah, it's not laying too bad. So we'll just go ahead and select that curve, and you can go to tools, and you can put beads on there, right? And we want to keep that one at our 12, or yeah, 12, and start position. We'll just drag this one around to this side here. Oh, I moved it over. And we'll just kind of, not space tilt. You can kind of get it in order. Something like that. Hit enter, and now you have a little bit cooler look. Covers that little area up there, but it gives it a little something extra, right? For viewing. So there's a lot of things you can do in here. You can go and change these shanks up. You can do a split shank. You can do a cathedral shank. There's all kinds of it. This is just kind of really a simple way to, I guess, show how to do this stuff here, and keeping it all parametric, so you're able to go back and you can manipulate some things, but not everything when we do this. So let's wait for that update here. Yeah, there we go. That one doesn't look too good. My prongs disappeared. Yeah, let's not do that. But you can manipulate things, higher, probably better. Go in there. For some reason, my prongs disappeared on. Oh, they're there. Okay. Oh, they're not joined together. That's why. But you can go through and manipulate all kind of stuff here. I'm going to go back. There we go. The stone height and the thickness of this here, how far out and in it goes. But to try and manipulate these stones, it's changing the prong placement, right? So you'll have to go back and do all those prongs, or it's 3 prongs again, so that's really the only thing that you would not be able to change too much. But hopefully this kind of helps a little bit, and if it does, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I appreciate your time and watching, and good designing. Thank you very much.